Good morning, sisters. Good morning, whoever is watching this channel. I want to be the first one to say on this Sunday, I'm with him. And I know you're wondering, what is she talking about? When I say I'm with him, I am with those men who have kids that they can't see because the mom wants the dad. The mom can't have her way. So she begins to play the games with the babies. And I'll be, like normally, very honest, okay? My son, against my wishes, you know how we tell our kids, don't do this, it's going to affect you. Leave that girl alone, leave this boy alone. But they think they're grown at that point. I said, this is going to be a problem. Well, he got a young lady pregnant. They were friends for years and all this stuff, and then they broke up because she was talking to her ex. My son went on to college, and he started, playing football and everything, and, he moved to Miami. So she was upset that he went to school first. I never knew anything about her being pregnant. So 3 months later, after him being in school, I get a call from this girl, and she's just like, well, did he tell you? And I'm like, tell me what? Right away, I knew. I said, are you pregnant? And she was like, yeah. She was going to get an abortion. She told my son she was going to get an abortion. So he knew, she knew, and her mom knew. Her mom told them that she was going to pay for the abortion. I'm against abortion. That's just my view on it. I believe if you can lay down and open your legs, then you can have it. Because I raised a child. I got pregnant at 15 and had my child at 16, and I did it. I'm 41. I'm not dead. It's possible. I don't believe that a kid is your choice. If God gave you that child, it's a reason. Rape situations, I still was willing to have a child in a rape situation. And I lost that child. But after this girl told me that she was pregnant, right away, I called my son. I'm like, hey, what you doing? Oh, I'm getting ready to go to football practice. I said, okay, anything else going on? He knows when I'm asking, I already know. So he's like, no, nothing much. Oh, you ain't getting ready to be a daddy? And then he told me, he said, I'm sorry, you'll be disappointed in me. And, she had said she's going to have an abortion because it just wasn't, they don't need to be having a child, this and this and this, because they weren't together. They were still sleeping together. There's friends with benefits. So this whole time, I was buying her stuff, little pillows to make sure she's comfortable, what she needed. Every time I went to Kentucky, once a month, I'm seeing her, taking her to brunch, buying the baby stuff. And when I say my family went above and beyond buying the baby things, and, I began to worry because my son told me, he said, Mom, he's leaving. He can't focus and this and that, so he was going to leave school. I said, you're leaving, playing football and everything? And he's like, I got to try to get a job and be a father and this and that. And the girl told him that she was going to move with him and they were going to, raise his family together. So my son, because his father was not in his life, those daddy issues, his father was not in his life. He was like, I do never want to leave my child. I said, well, please don't leave school. And so I'll just go to school down there where you're at, just to be a little closer, because this is where they agreed. Well, when my son got here, the girl told me she changed her mind. She changed her mind. She wasn't moving here. Well, my son already gave up school and everything. So long story short, she has the baby. Well, right before the baby, she had a baby shower. We came from around the world. You hear me, y'all? My family closed their daycares, left their businesses, traveled to Kentucky for this baby shower. The baby shower is really, really far out where we don't belong. And they put us in a garage. In a hot garage for a baby shower. Well, my sister overhears her telling her friend next week was going to be another baby shower. And I'm like, she never told us about that. So she had a complete different baby shower, y'all. Inside the house, nice and cozy. And it's crazy because I have the pictures. At the baby shower that we were at in the garage, blacks were on one side and whites were on one side. And I'm not getting ready to act like racist people don't exist, okay? So, there was already a problem with that this whole pregnancy, you know. Now, the child lies a lot. The girl lies a lot. And I told my son, be careful, you know. Because she was saying once she had the baby, that she was going to go ahead and she keep the baby 2 months, then he gets the baby and all that. And I told my son, I said, get it in writing and get it notarized. And I said, furthermore, put yourself on child support, you know, before she does it. Because, you know, you got to make sure you're able to see your child. Oh, mama, you just thinking the worst. Nothing's going to happen, you know. We already agreed. She already said she's not like that, this and that. Okay, she's not like that. But she's been lying to you this whole time. See, kids, if it's any kids on here, start listening. Okay? Sometimes we're just not telling you anything out of the wind. And I know you got some parents who just be yakking. But we're telling you things because we love you. And we don't want to see you go through certain situations. So, okay, that happens. She has the baby. But she kept giving us different due dates and all that. And I told my son a few days before the baby was born, I said, I think you need to go on down there. I keep, having these dreams. I said, you need to go down. He said, oh, well, she said they're going to probably induce her labor if she hasn't gone in on her birthday or whatever. So first of all, they didn't tell you about inducing your labor if you weren't past that day. She didn't know which day, y'all. So in my mind, I'm wondering, and I'm not going to lie, mama's baby daddies, maybe, okay? So she has the baby. She goes in labor. My son's sleeping on the phone with her just to make sure he's alert to when she goes into labor, since she didn't want to give a correct date. My son gets up, mama, knocking on my door at 4 a.m. He said she's in labor. Me and my husband gave him some money, extra money because he works, but it was just like, go, I asked him did he want me to go with him, but I had clients and everything, and I would have, canceled because I was going to be there. So I said, just go ahead. I'll be there tomorrow. He rode down, I talked to him most of the way and stuff like that. He got there right before it was time to go in the room, So he was able to be there, hold her legs up, talk her in, pushing, doing all this and that. He was there. He came to the baby shower. My son has been there through the whole pregnancy, right? It's his, it's his child. So, like we said, even if it's not, let's act like it is, so that way you have no regrets if it's your child, right? So she has the baby. And I got down there the next day, and I brought a DNA kit with me. Because, see, what you're not going to do is play these games. Because she played too much. She lied too much. So, did the blood test. Swabbed her, the baby, my son. Went and mailed it in the same day. The DNA diagnostics. Okay. We wait about a week. I hold the baby and stuff. We never treated this girl as if this child wasn't hers. Because I don't like when mothers do that. I don't like that. It possibly could be your child's. So the least you could do is wait until you know. And then don't treat her bad out if it's not. She just made a mistake, So, the baby, 99.999%, it's my grandbaby. I'm thrilled about it. I love my grandbabies. Okay? People who know me know there's nothing I wouldn't do for my kids, my husband, my grandbaby, the Lord. Now, everything's going, and mind you, when she had that baby shower, that secret baby shower, she told my son, oh, it's not a baby shower. It's just my family who couldn't come. Y'all, when I tell you it was the same people who was there on the other side of that room, and when I tell you all the decorations said baby shower, like, that's why I say the girl lies just to hear herself lie, okay? Now, for Thanksgiving, she had been saying the baby was going to come down November the 3rd. To me, I'm like, okay, that's good. They're going to co-parent. Okay. So there's, my son, I told him yesterday, I said, well, make sure that she has the baby ready and stuff like that, because you have to take off for work and take off class and stuff like that, So he texts her, hey, is the baby going to be ready when I come to get her? Because I've got to do this and got to do that. So, she said, well, I'll talk to you when I get out the movie theater. Okay, she gets out the movie theater because he texts her again eventually because he hadn't heard from her. She tells him the baby's not coming. She says she's too young. And she's breastfeeding. Let me tell y'all something, right? Because a lot of girls do that. They'll act like they're breastfeeding and stuff like that. They'll do the breastfeeding because the baby did take a bottle. The baby took a bottle before when my son was there. My son took off work for 2 weeks. He was there the first 2 weeks of the baby's life. And he had to come back. He had to go to school and he had to work. Okay? Now, the whole time she's been telling him, you need to move down here. Basically to see the baby, to be a father. I'm telling my son, you don't have to be with her because she does a lot. I could see him in jail, y'all, if he's down there with her because she likes to cry victim. Men, when I tell you, when a woman is showing signs, she crazy and cutting up and everything when y'all together. Why you gonna go make a baby with her? Okay, let's say you made a baby. Y'all better get your rights and everything set up right away once that baby's born. So now here it is last minute and she's telling him the baby's not coming. My son said, okay, I'll see you in court. We already did the papers and everything to get out there tomorrow, and we have to talk to the lawyer about going to court for us. So there's money that has to be paid out. And little does she know I have grandparents' rights. Okay, I call this girl every day. I read books to my grandbaby. I leave little messages for her to listen to. I talk to her and play with her on the phone. Went down to see her, hold her and all that. This girl blocked me, y'all. She blocked me on social media. She took all my family off of her page. Her mom blocked, her friend who keeps the baby and stuff blocked. She texted my son and told her she don't want her to come down here because she gonna come back a different baby. What you mean? We're black. They're white, y'all. My thing is, I don't have a problem with that. Plenty of mixed kids are in our family. But people act like they got some sense. They don't trip about the kids seeing people. So here it is. My son, of course, he's going to take off work, take off school and stuff to go get his daughter because he's going to have his daughter. He's going to have his visits. See, unlike a lot of men or boys, my son wants to be a father. He wants to be a dad. I do not agree with women who do that. And you will reap what you're sowing. Some people, they let it go so far, and the kids are way older. But those kids are going to know what you did. One thing I never did was badmouth my son's father to him. I never talked bad about him. My son grew up and he saw it for himself. Now, tell me, what do you benefit from keeping your child away from his dad? Because there is no court. I tell the little tricksters, the little girls that want to play these games, I'm going to tell you this ahead of time. I don't care if you breastfeeding. That's not going to keep the father away from the dad. Keep the father away from the baby. You can move where you want to. If that man fighting to see his kids, he's going to get to see his kids. And you're hurting your own kids. I've said that before. You'll protect your kids against everything except for yourself. It's just a subject that bothers me, y'all. And then here it is, as a grandmother. Y'all know this to be true. Some grandmothers barely even know their grandkids' name. I'm a kind of grandmother where I want to be involved in my grandkids' life. I am involved in my grandkids' life. So for her to block me, and she told me she's not talking to me anymore, she's like, well, whatever I got to say, I'll say it through her father. Okay, now I know you think you got all the control and everything. I hear you. But that's not the case. One thing I've learned, you all, women, men, hey, men, don't cuss her out. Don't get mad and shout about it. You trust God like you've been trusting him, okay? Because you will end up seeing your child. And it won't be long. And you will not have to be tormented, tortured, or anything to get that child. If that woman does not comply with the court order, then we're going back to court again. And what's going to happen is she's going to end up losing custody if she continues to play those games. One thing I don't agree with, I do not think a child should be away from their mother, unless there's danger. Now, everything was tried to be done the right way, where she gets the baby, he gets the baby, he visits there when he can, she come here. But because he has a girlfriend, or a girl he's seeing rather, not full girlfriend yet, but has a girl he's seeing. My son's on the phone with his daughter. She hears a girl's voice in the background. She hangs up on him while he's talking to his child. When I tell y'all the pettiness of being the mom has to stop, I agree with him. And him is any man that is going through those issues with a woman. Me, it's like back in the day, I think I tried to make his father be around. I would be like, here, get your son. Spend some time with him. You're going to regret it later. I don't want him to hate you or anything like that. I tried everything I could. I really did. So, this new thing that's going on, the baby mama control syndrome, it doesn't work. You're hurting your kids. It hurts as far as, hey, I can't believe that she would do this, but hey, I did believe she would do it. I believe that she would do exactly what she just did. But what we're not going to do is give up. I love my granddaughter. I love my grandson. Any child that comes after them, I'm going to love them too. Ladies, stop it. Please. Let these men be fathers to their kids. Because what bothers me is after all this, some women have the nerves to get mad when that man just steps back and he don't really want to be bothered until the child is older. Well, what do you think is going to happen? Because some men don't have money to go to court and pay this and pay that. They barely surviving. Some of them barely surviving because every time you get a chance, you run up to child support. You don't even need it. You just want to be vindictive. I'm not talking about the deadbeat fathers. I'm talking about the ones who want to be a father and y'all didn't want him there. You just wanted him. And that's been her problem. He doesn't want to be with you. He's been very respectful toward you. And he will continue to be because that's the way he was raised. And we don't fight in the flesh against people like that. My battles are always done in the spiritual when it comes to things like this. Because I know sometimes when you're going through things, like you can be saved as you want to be. But sometimes we go through things and it shakes us and moves us. That's not what God called us to be. We're supposed to be steadfast in who we are. If you praise him when it's good, you're supposed to praise him when it's bad. You're supposed to praise him when you're full of anxiety. You're supposed to praise him when your baby mama acting silly. You're supposed to praise him when your baby daddy acting silly. You're supposed to praise him. Don't lose sight and get off balance because a little something came and shook you. It don't take much. I mean, your world can change by a conversation. It can change by a text message. It can change. But I agree with him. This needs to stop. I love you, sis.